The Strait of Hormuz, just 33 kilometers wide at its narrowest point, is one of the world's most critical energy choke points. According to the US Energy Information Administration, roughly 20 million barrels per day, or about 1/5 of the global petroleum liquids consumption, moves through this corridor. India imports about 85% of its crude oil requirements. Reuters analysis shows roughly 55 to 60% of India's crude and around 2/3 of LNG come from the Middle East. This means any sustained disruption in the Gulf, even if cargoes still move, raises India's vulnerability. Oil is dollar denominated. When prices rise, India's import bill expands immediately. Historically, sustained crude above $100 to $110 per barrel widens India's current account deficit and pressures the rupee. This week, Bernstein raised its 2026 Brent assumption from $65 to $80 and flagged $120 to $150 in an extreme prolonged conflict case. Goldman Sachs estimates a 20% rise in Brent could reduce regional earnings by about 2%, though geopolitical spikes often fade over time. India imports a substantial portion of its LPG, much of it connected to Gulf supply chains. Higher global LPG prices directly affect the PM Ujjwala Yojana, increasing the subsidy pressure or forcing the retail hikes. India's fertilizer subsidy bill has already crossed $1.9 trillion in recent budgets, and gas price spikes increase the fertilizer production costs. India is a major exporter of diesel and aviation turbine fuel. If crude tightens, refiners may prioritize the domestic supply, affecting the export earnings. India holds about 100 million barrels of commercial crude oil stocks in storage tanks, underground strategic reserves, and on ships voyaging towards the country, which could cover roughly 40 to 45 days of its requirement if flows through the Strait of Hormuz are disrupted, according to Kepler. Reuters reports war risk insurance premiums are rising, with some insurers withdrawing or restricting cover for vessels operating in high-risk Gulf waters. Even uninterrupted cargo becomes more expensive due to freight and insurance surcharges. So India is not facing immediate supply collapse. But if Hormuz traffic remains constrained, the pressure builds through, first, the higher fuel prices, second, the supply expansion, and third, rupee and current account stress. And that is why New Delhi is watching the Strait of Hormuz as closely as global oil traders are. This is Indurishka Bose. For more updates, follow Economic Times.